Well, guys, episode 8, the final episode of the Holiday Tool Haul. Did you think it was ever going to get here? I didn't. I thought we were just going to be doing a Holiday Tool Haul forever. But here we are, the last one. And this one's the weird one. I don't even, if I explain it, it gives it away. So just watch. Check it out. If you're a tool guy, you might cry. If you're a Plum, Proto, Flying V guy, you're definitely going to cry. I'll catch up with you at the end. Okay, so this one's going to be a weird one. I picked up this Craftsman box. You can see on the tape it says cutoffs. It was full almost all the way to the lid line of what we're about to look at here. We'll dive into some of these piles a little bit. Kind of what they are. But these are all cutoffs. Exactly what it says. What a cutoff is generally what happens with a broken wrench. So a guy may snap this husky. Break one of the ears off on this side. So he'll get out the old torch or the grinder, chop it off, and now you can still use the 7/8 box end. Put it on what you need, and then if you need to add a cheater bar, you can add a cheater bar. Because he probably broke that open end off, looping in another wrench, and getting so much torque on there it snapped it, because that really does become the weak point. Or if he does this and slides a pipe over, now he has a usable wrench again. So you can see this pile here is Huskies. There's a couple open ends and some box ends. So those become handy and usable. People do that sometimes with their own. Sometimes the stores where you return it will do that. So let's say this 1 1/8 wrench, it's a Husky. Let's say it costs $20 in the store. The store takes the return, they give you a brand new one. The manufacturer says, get rid of it. So they put a kid in the back with a grinder or a torch and say, chop those off, we'll put them in a bin. And then in the bin, there'll be $1 or $2, whatever. And you can buy that and have that piece for what you need. They've made a couple bucks off of it. As opposed to throwing it away, you've got a useful tool. So that's usually what cutoffs are. I've never experienced walking into a store and seeing a Husky or a Craftsman bin like that, but I've heard tale of it back in the day that you'd see that. Where I did see it is over here in tool truck brands. So the tool truck driver would do that. He'd get this busted blue point in and say, you know what, a front end guy could really use that. And we did have a lot of these when I did front end work with my dad. Because you can put a cheater bar on it and you can get things to move. If you got a really rusted up tie rod end on a big garbage truck, let's say, we did a lot of garbage truck stuff. Those come in handy. You get the pipe on it and you can hang yourself from it. And got your whole body weight hanging and finally it'll break loose. You've done the penetrating oil, you've done all that stuff, and nothing seems to get you there. That's what those work really good for. This is a snap-on or a dash-on at this point. We've got socket end max. You know, 15/16 socket end is still a very handy end, and you still may need that to get on something and just torque. These, I think there's a couple pieces in here that are not actually cutoffs. So this one may or may not be. It just says made in Japan. If it is a cutoff, it's one somebody did a pretty good job with. This is a Cornwell. Again, someone might have done a really good job with it. I don't think this was a cutoff, but I think it's something someone twisted and put in there. And then here's a custom-made tool. And my guess is someone had something with a slot, big slotted screw or something. They took a generic wrench that they had that was probably broken and welded that on the end. Customized tool for the job. Who knows what the job was at the time. This pile here, most of them are cut. These are cut off small, a lot of them. I can't make out the brands. I said we had Husky. We had, this one will make a lot of tool people cry. If you know what that pebble pattern is, you know this is a good sized plum. And someone needed to weld that piece onto it. Maybe keep it from going down too far and get the turn on it. Now, this whole pile is proto. Like this one, it says proto. You can see it's the pebble pattern, so it's probably a proto Los Angeles. This one is another. You got the pebble pattern. And you can see the end of Los Angeles. Like I said, we couldn't discern these. This one, actually, I'm not sure what this one was. I know that I've seen that forged in USA like that. But that's all Williams. That goes in, you can't discern. And then over here we got brands like New Britain, Billings, that kind of stuff, industrial. But these are all cutoffs. What I'm going to do with them, I'm not sure. I will probably pull out ones that maybe it'll be used for something, like this. That may come in handy at some point when I need a 1 7/16 that I can get a pry bar on, or that I can get a piece of steel pipe on, and really leverage it. So some of those will come in handy for sure. And we got this obstruction wrench. Mac obstruction wrench that got twisted around, manipulated to be used in a different way. So I may pull out the ones that I see would be good for me to keep and use as is. And then maybe the others get turned into some sort of welding project or something. Maybe we'll start making some shop art or something with this. But I picked up that box, all of these tools. There's about 6 or 7 other wrenches that I pulled out of here already. These were another group of things that I found that may or may not be their own wrenches. And I got all that for $20. So there's definitely, and stuff like this, there's definitely $20 worth of usable, keepable wrenches. So that's the unique cutoff box. Do you need tissue? That was a weird one, right? It was a whole toolbox full of cutoffs. I had to buy it. I just did. I used to use cutoffs a lot when I did front end work. There's stuff, like I said in the video, there's stuff that I would buy from the tool guy cheaper. You know, returns that he would take, and then he'd cut the end off, sell it to front end guys because we needed something we could shove a pipe over the top of real easy and get as much leverage as we needed. So I get it. Some of those look like they were probably just cut to be cut, and that's what's sad. you know, it was old junk at the time, but now, I mean, us Plum Proto guys, we see a Proto Los Angeles or a Plum, we want that thing. We don't want to cut in half. So as far as a favorite, probably the Flying V stuff, just because I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to put it in my Flying V toolbox. The other stuff, the Plum and Proto, I'll probably end up putting in my Proto box. The rest of it I will just use as beat-on wrenches. So that concludes the holiday tool haul. I wanted to end it on a weird note, so we did. Stay tuned for the next one. I think the next one we're going to do will be, I think it's going to be the weekend for my wife Liz's birthday. We checked out a couple flea markets in New Jersey, and we had a good time. So I'll show you guys what I got there. Remember to do all the things I tell you to do at the end. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Sit down, make your mom watch it. Whatever. You know, I don't care. And remember, I'm burnout. You're not. But I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.